Most people think they need motivation to change their life. They wait for that perfect morning, that spark of inspiration, that moment when everything feels right. But here's the truth. That moment rarely comes, and if it does, it fades. Fast. Motivation is like a match. It burns bright for a second, then disappears in the wind. But discipline is the fire that never goes out. It's quiet. It's not exciting, but it's powerful. It's what keeps you moving when you don't feel like it. It's what turns your dreams into habits, and your habits into destiny. Think about it. Every person who has ever achieved greatness didn't rely on motivation. They relied on consistency, on showing up by day after day, even when no one was watching. Even when the world felt heavy, even when it was easier to quit. So ask yourself, how many times have you promised yourself you'd change, only to fall back into old patterns? How many goals have you abandoned, not because you didn't care, but because the feeling was gone? This video isn't about feeling inspired. It's about becoming unstoppable, because the person you're meant to be isn't waiting for motivation. They're forged in discipline. If you're ready to take control of your life, if you're ready to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it, stay until the end. This might be the moment that changes everything. And before we begin, take a second. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Because today we're not chasing motivation. We're building discipline. One choice, one action, one day at a time. Everyone loves the feeling of being motivated. It's that rush of energy you get after watching a powerful video, reading a quote, or hearing a success story. In that moment, you feel unstoppable, like nothing can stand in your way. But then, the feeling fades. The alarm rings early the next morning, and suddenly, that same goal doesn't feel so exciting anymore. Your mind starts whispering, maybe later, maybe tomorrow, and just like that, motivation disappears, leaving behind guilt, frustration, and the same old excuses. You see, motivation is emotional. It's temporary. It's unpredictable. Depends on how you feel, and your feelings change all the time. One bad day, one distraction, one small setback, and motivation vanishes. That's why people who rely on motivation never build consistency. They're always chasing a feeling instead of creating a system. They wait for inspiration instead of building structure. And they confuse excitement for commitment. The truth is, motivation is designed to get you started, not to keep you going. It's the spark, not the engine. But most people treat it like fuel, and then wonder why they keep running out of energy. If you've ever felt stuck, it's not because you lack motivation, it's because you've depended on it too much. You've been taught to wait until you feel ready, when in reality, readiness comes after you start, not before. Think about every time you told yourself you'd start when you feel like it. That day rarely came, right? Because your brain is wired to protect you from discomfort, and motivation feeds that comfort. It tells you, do it when it feels good. But growth doesn't feel good. It feels uncomfortable. It's supposed to. That's why motivation alone will always betray you. Because when life gets hard, and it always will, feelings can't carry you through the storm. Only discipline can. And here's the hard truth. Successful people aren't more motivated than you. They've just learned to act without motivation. They've trained their mind to move, even when it doesn't want to. Because they understand one powerful truth. Motivation makes promises. Discipline delivers results. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop chasing that high that fades in a day. Instead, commit to showing up. Not because you're motivated, but because you've decided to. Every time you act without motivation, you're training your mind to obey you, not your emotions. And that's the real victory. The quiet one, the one no one sees, but the one that transforms you. If you've made it this far into the video, it means something inside you already knows this truth. You're tired of the temporary. You're ready for something permanent. So, before we move on, take a second to like this video and subscribe. Not for me, but for you. Because each time you take that small action, you're reinforcing your commitment to growth. This is the beginning of a new chapter, where motivation ends and discipline begins. Discipline is not punishment. It's not a cage. It's not about forcing yourself to do things you hate. Discipline is freedom. It's the ability to choose long-term purpose over short-term pleasure. It's what allows you to take control of your life, to become the architect of your future, instead of a victim of your moods. People think freedom means doing whatever you want, but real freedom comes from the strength to do what you must, even when you don't want to. Because when you can control your actions, you control your destiny. Look at anyone who has built greatness. Athletes, artists, thinkers, leaders. Their success wasn't born from random bursts of motivation. It was built brick by brick, habit by habit, day by day. When others slept, they worked. When others complained, they focused. When others waited to feel ready, they acted. Discipline doesn't shout, it whispers. It's the quiet decision to get up when the alarm rings, to say no to distractions, to keep promises to yourself even when no one is watching. That's where real confidence comes from. Not from hype or applause, but from self-respect. Because every time you keep your word to yourself, you build trust with the most important person in your life. You. Motivation says, I'll try. Discipline says, I will. And that difference, that single decision to show up no matter what, changes everything. Imagine waking up every day knowing you can rely on yourself. Knowing that your mind listens to you. That's not arrogance. That's self-mastery. Discipline doesn't eliminate struggle. It turns struggle into strength. Every moment of resistance, every time you push through the urge to quit, you're sculpting a stronger version of yourself. There's beauty in discipline. It's the unseen effort behind every victory. It's the reason why champions stay on top when everyone else gives up. It's why progress feels slow, because transformation isn't loud. It's built in silence. Think about a seed buried underground. It's unseen, ignored, forgotten, but it's growing roots. And when the time comes, it breaks through the surface and reaches the light. That's discipline. Growth you don't see, until one day you can't ignore it anymore. When you act with discipline, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your results speak louder than your excuses. You become your own source of strength. So if you've ever felt lost or inconsistent, remember this. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline moments. Moments where you act despite the doubt. Moments where you choose growth over comfort. Moments where you simply do the next right thing. And over time, those moments add up. They become your character. They become your life. If this message is hitting something inside you right now, take a moment. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Not just as support for this channel, but as a declaration to yourself. You're choosing to stop waiting. You're choosing to start building. Because discipline doesn't just change your habits, it changes who you are. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start small and start today. Let's be honest, building discipline isn't glamorous. It's not about grand gestures or overnight change. It's about the little choices you make when no one is watching. The quiet moments when you decide to stay on track, even when everything in you wants to quit. So how do you build unbreakable discipline? It starts with identity. You don't become disciplined by forcing yourself to act differently. You become disciplined by seeing yourself differently. Stop saying, I'm trying to be consistent. Start saying, I'm a consistent person. Your brain listens to your language, and the more you speak like the person you want to become, the faster your actions will follow. Second, build systems, not goals. Goals give direction, but systems create progress. Don't just focus on losing weight. Focus on being the kind of person who never misses a workout. Don't chase productivity. Become the kind of person who honors their time. Discipline grows when your actions become automatic. Third, control your environment. Your surroundings are stronger than your willpower. If your phone is full of distractions, if your room is full of clutter, if your friends don't support your growth, it will always feel like you're swimming upstream. Change your environment and your behavior will follow naturally. Fourth, master the art of showing up. Discipline is not about doing your best every day. It's about doing something every day. Even if it's small, even if it's ugly, because consistency matters more than intensity. A 1% improvement repeated daily becomes transformation over time. And here's the truth most people ignore. You don't need to feel confident to act. Confidence is the result of action, not the requirement for it. Every time you follow through, even when you doubt yourself, you strengthen your belief in who you are. There will be days when you fail, when you break your promise, when you don't show up. But failure isn't the opposite of discipline. It's part of it, because real discipline isn't about never falling. It's about never staying down. When you fail, reflect, learn, and return stronger. That's the discipline mindset. Forgive yourself quickly. Recommit immediately. Move forward relentlessly. Fifth, surround yourself with purpose. Without a why, discipline feels like torture. But with a clear purpose, it becomes sacred. When you remember why you started, who you're doing it for, what kind of life you want to live, even the hardest days gain meaning. Discipline is not about control. It's about devotion. Devotion to your dreams, your growth, your potential. Every time you act with discipline, you're honoring your future self, the version of you who's already living the life you want. So ask yourself right now, what would the most disciplined version of me do in this moment? Then do that, not tomorrow, not when I feel ready. Now. And when your mind starts making excuses, remind yourself, excuses are just lies your comfort zone tells you to stay small. You were not born to live small. You were born to rise, to expand, to build something meaningful, one disciplined act at a time. The secret is simple, but not easy. Show up. Even when it's hard, even when no one claps for you, even when the results haven't shown yet, because the results will come, slowly, silently, then suddenly, all at once, and you'll look back one day and realize the discipline you built became the foundation of your freedom. So if this message resonates with you, take a moment, like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Not out of habit, but as a promise to yourself. A promise that from this day forward, you'll stop waiting for motivation and start becoming the person discipline was trying to shape all along. At the beginning of this video, I told you something simple. Motivation fades, but discipline lasts. Now you've seen why. Motivation may light the spark, but it's discipline that keeps the fire alive. Every goal, every dream, every version of yourself you've ever imagined, they all depend on your ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. That's the real secret. That's the quiet power that shapes destinies. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's the art of trying again and again and again, until trying becomes who you are, and maybe no one will notice at first. No applause, no results, no reward. But every small act of discipline is a seed, and one day that seed grows into something you can't ignore. The body you dreamed of, the business you built, the peace you finally feel inside. That's the gift of discipline. It builds you silently, until the world can't help but see the change. So, the next time you feel unmotivated, remember this. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to show up. You don't need more inspiration. You need more consistency. Because the difference between who you are and who you want to be is hidden in what you do every single day. If this message spoke to you, don't just close the video and move on. Make a decision today. Decide that you'll no longer be controlled by your feelings, that you'll build a life rooted in discipline, purpose, and strength. And if you felt that shift inside you, if something in you says, "This is my time," then take a moment now, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, not for me, but for you. Because the moment you choose discipline, you've already chosen a different life.